Hello fellow booktubers and welcome to World of Book Reviews. Today I'm bringing you my thoughts on Matt Rees's Mozart's Last Aria. This is a really good book, I read it in about 3 days, 3 days, something like that, and I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed it. So before I get to my thoughts, here's just a little bit of background to the book. It was published in 2011 by Corvus Publishers, which is a subsidiary to, sorry, just bear with me one moment while I find out, to Atlantic Books. And it's in the UK version, which this is, it's 291 pages and it's a hardback. It's a historical crime and I give this a 5 out of 5. So I'll just tell you a bit about the book before I start. Basically, this is the synopsis from the inside of the book. The year is 1791 and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart is Enlightenment Vienna's brightest star, master of the city's music halls and devoted member of the Austrian Freemasons Guild. He stands at the heart of an electric mix, of art and music, philosophy and science, politics and intrigue. 6 weeks ago, the great composer told his wife he had been poisoned. Yesterday, he died. The city's buzzing with rumours of infidelity, bankruptcy and murder. But Wolfgang's estranged sister, Nannerl, returned from the provinces to investigate his death, will not believe the gossip. Who but a madman would poison such genius? Yet, as she looks closely at what her brother left behind, a handwritten score, a scrap of paper, a scrap of paper from his journal, Nannerl finds traces of something sinister, the threads of a Masonic conspiracy that reach from the gilded ballrooms of Viennese society to the faceless officers of the Prussian Secret Service. Only when watching Wolfgang's bewitching opera, The Magic Flute, does Nannerl truly understand her beloved brother once again. For, encoded in his final aria, she detects a subtly crafted blueprint for a radical new tomorrow. Mozart hoped this would determine his future. Did it seal his fate instead? Okay, so that's just the synopsis. And what else can I tell you about this book? My first impression was I love this front cover. I really do like the front cover. I love the fact that that's Mozart up there in his red flock coat. I love the blood here, really. On the American version, it does have writing just about here somewhere from the cover that I've seen. And so I was intrigued by the cover. I'm not a big Mozart fan. My dad is. My dad loves his music. But Matt Rees created a story that really gripped me from the start, really. It's a historical crime novel with a twist. It's a crime novel and a conspiracy novel rolled into one. It reminded me a lot of Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code. It's set, as the synopsis says, in 1791, around the time of Mozart's death, and 1791, 1792, somewhere like that. It's told from the viewpoint of his sister, Maria Anna Mozart, or Nannerl, as she's known in the book. All the characters in the book were real, and they all knew Mozart in real life, which intrigued me even more, because it read more as a biography than a crime novel. Although his sister is telling the story, the main character actually is Mozart himself, because all the way through the book, his music's mentioned, whether that might be the opera that she's seeing, or a musical score she's looking at, or even playing on the clavichord or the pianoforte. Running all the way through it is the conspiracy, and this is Matt Rees's interpretation of that. As fans of Mozart will know, he did die on the 5th of December 1791, and he died allegedly from a rumour, from a fever, What Matt Rees has done is said, well, what if Mozart didn't die from a fever? What if Mozart died from poisoning? Which I thought was an interesting take. There are a few discrepancies between real life and this book. One of them is that Maria never visited his grave. She never went to see the site that Mozart was buried in, which was a shame. But this book really drew me in. I mean, I couldn't stop reading it. And listening to his music as well at the same time, which is strange. Because in the back of this book, and I will just show you, in the back of this book, Matt Rees even included a musical score for the relevant chapters, which I absolutely loved. It really helped draw me into the story because, for instance, on chapter 6, his piano in B minor, K 540, is featured, and to listen to that whilst reading this book, it just drew me completely in. And I can't speak any more highly of this book. It is a really, really good read. Was there any characters that I didn't like? Not really. I liked all the characters because they were all real, in real life. And for me, that really helped the book flow. It helped everything about the book. Matt Rees' descriptions are, in my opinion, outstanding. I loved the way he described St. Michael's Church. I loved the way that he described the flower market in Vienna. His description of Baron van Swieten, you'll have to excuse my pronunciations because this book is full of Austrian names, and Baron van Swieten, or Swetten, or however you want to pronounce it, is head of the Imperial Library and chief of the government censorship. And basically, Matt Rees describes him as, he was a broad man, his frock coat was embroidered with silver on a frosty grey fabric. His hands rested on a silver-topped stick that he held upright, its tip on the marble floor. Perhaps a decade older than me, he had very black hair. The shadow of his beard was thick on his cheeks and chin. That's just him describing one person in this book. It's a phenomenal read. I highly recommend it. For me, if you're a fan of historical fiction, if you're a lover of crime novels, if you're a lover of conspiracy novels, this is the book for you. Seriously, this is the book for you. And just bear with me 1 minute while I get my next book that I'm reading. There we are. And my next review, so that's my review, sorry, on Mozart's Last Aria by Matt Rees. Sorry for all the sort of sorries, but this is my first review, actually. My next review, or my next thoughts, will be on The Lantern by Deborah Lorenzen. I'm about that far in, so I'm about 20% into the book, and it's actually quite interesting, this book so far. So more on that this weekend or beginning of next week. So you've been watching World of Book Reviews. If you like my videos, please rate, subscribe and comment, and because I love to hear what you think. Or if you have any suggestions on how I can make the videos even better, please leave a comment below. All suggestions are welcome, all comments are welcome. So once again, thank you for watching.